What's going on, Mafia? Your Buffalo Bills just made another move in NFL free agency. Brandon Beane is not sleeping on day number 4, and this time agreeing to terms on a deal with Laviska Shenault Jr., the wide receiver and kick return specialist. Going to bring a little bit of a new element to potentially Buffalo's special teams team in 2025. Before we get into all my thoughts and telling you guys more about Shenault and what he can do and honestly not do on the football field, is I know Brandon Beane's not sleeping, but I'm kind of sleeping on this move. What's your one-word reaction to the Laviska Shenault signing? Let me know down in the comments section. Get in there early and often, and let me know what your one word you would give the Laviska Shenault signing. Full details TBA, probably going to be a one-year cheap deal. My one word is needed. It is needed to bring in a player like Shenault to Buffalo. The Bills' special teams game and the threats that they had returning the football were not essentially the most threatening to opposing special teams, right? Like, the kick return game has kind of become a more important element of football ever since they've changed the rules in the NFL, and you're going to need a real threat back there. And you know what? Laviska Shenault, he can give you that. Originally a second-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars back in 2020, played his college game at Colorado, and was very productive back there, and had an honestly really productive rookie season in the NFL. Kind of looked like somebody who was going to blossom and improve his game. 600 receiving yards in his rookie year, and then ended up, having a kick return touchdown, 5 touchdowns through the air. Like, he was looking like a weapon that you could use in a multitude of ways. They're running him out of the backfield. He was a dynamic athlete, but really hasn't been able to kind of parlay that into a strong, consistent NFL career so far. He's going to be heading into year 6 at this point. Let's take a look at what he did, though, in special teams, because that's where Buffalo is primarily going to use him. I doubt he is going to be a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 at any point during the season unless you get hit by major injury. We don't want to see that, though. He did have a couple back-to-back great receiving seasons in 2024 and 2023. He ended up having 460 yards in that regard in 2024. And you know what? He was really, really good in the punt return game that year as well. Obviously, only one really big year of punt return yardage, but in the kick return game, he's been consistently doing that throughout his career. Over 250 yards in all 3 seasons. And you know what? He is a player who isn't necessarily going to flash you in the receiving game, but for an area of Buffalo's team right now that wasn't all that great, this is why Brandon Beane goes out and makes a signing for Shenault. But this is why you subscribe to the Bills Breakdown. When the Bills make moves, we make videos and have you guys covered on it all. Listen, Shenault, not the most inspiring signing, but that's why we're here late on a Thursday bringing you this Bills context, because we are committed to giving you the best Bills coverage on YouTube. So lock us in, go down below, and hit that big red subscribe button. Totally free. 716. Let's talk about Shenault some more, though. As a receiver, I'm not going to lie, it has been uninspiring. Really hasn't had the opportunity to get on the field all that much. Only 5 catches in 2024. Back in 2021, though, like, he was looking to build upon that rookie year. He still, tacked up about 619 yards and didn't get in the end zone that year. But let's be honest, the Jacksonville Jaguars were an absolute atrocity in 2021, and back then, like, they didn't have any offense going. At the end of the day, he's not going to really crack Buffalo's wide receiver depth chart at this point. But what he is going to do potentially is, give Buffalo another receiver to kind of run a package with once or twice every couple of games to show the defense a different look and maybe try something that Buffalo hasn't yet gotten to yet, like running the ball out of the backfield with a receiver. Early on in his career, had a lot of opportunity out of the backfield. He averaged 91 yards out of there back in his rookie season. He was averaging 5 yards a carry, like very, very solid stuff. And then even in 2023, he was solid, 7.2 yards per carry out of the backfield. Like, he could be used in that regard, but at the end of the day, I'm not so sure that Shenault even is guaranteed to make the 53-man roster when it comes time for training camp at this point. Like, he's not been able to carve out a role for either Seattle, and I know who I know had a really good receiving core last season. Really, consistent guys in that lineup who really weren't getting moved out of their spots. But, like, even Buffalo's, who I don't think is the greatest in the NFL, to be quite honest, there's still probably not room in this group for him to crack it. Like, you signed Josh Palmer for $12 million a season, and I'm very excited for the Josh Palmer signing, by the way. He was talking about how he takes a lot of pride in running the full route tree as a receiver. Khalil Shakir, you just locked up for $13 million, $14 million a season. Keon Coleman, you're expecting a big year two out on the boundary as well. And then Curtis Samuel, another gadget guy that you can run out of the slot. KJ Hamler, Vigil, Shelvers, and Shenault are going to be guys who are kind of competing for that wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6 spot on the actual Bills roster come the 2025 season. So all in all, he's still 26 years old. Like, there's still game left in there, and he can be an effective special teams player. And I think that's where he'll thrive at Buffalo's depth chart right now, as you have like Corrington back there and Ty Johnson, Ray Davis, who I just don't really want in the backfield, or excuse me, in the special teams backfield, returning kicks and punts. So with that being said, he could be a valuable addition to Buffalo in certain ways. Great, the Laviska Shenault signing. It's going to be a 1-year cheap deal, in my assumption. But let me know what you guys think, A, B, C, D, or F, on the Laviska Shenault signing for Buffalo down in the comment section right now. So to wrap up today's video, if you guys are new here, this is your first time watching the Buffalo Bills breakdown, we're going to go through the free agency signings that have been made so far. Brandon Beane has been pretty active, but specifically in re-signing and bringing back the young talent that he has garnered through the draft. But started off the offseason this year with re-signing Khalil Shakir, which we just talked about. He's going to be a featured player in Buffalo's offense in 2025 and beyond. Josh seems to like him. He's really had a knack for getting open and being a separator in this league. And you know what? I honestly think the 4-year, $53 million extension that he got is going to be a value signing as the cap continues to go up and up. Terrell Bernard, another green dot guy that you had to kind of bring back, an off-ball linebacker who has showed a lot in both the run game and coverage-wise. I like the money given to him there, $25 million guaranteed. It's a lot to commit to an inside linebacker, but they believe in Bernard. Rousseau, the big money maker on the Bills defense, though, of the offseason so far. Still waiting on that Christian Benford signing at cornerback, but he made 4 years, $80 million. Josh, though, record-setting guaranteed money. $330 million going for the next 6 years. Josh is never leaving Buffalo. He says he wants to play his whole career here, and Buffalo is home to him, and we can't thank him enough for calling the 716 home. $250 million guaranteed. That is an NFL record. Also, Josh Palmer to supplant the loss of Amari Cooper, it seems. It doesn't look like they're going to be bringing him back unless it's on a very short-term cheap deal as well. Michael Hecht's going to be an interesting player on the defensive line for Buffalo. A rotational guy, kind of be your Von Miller replacement in a way, where he's not going to be your starter on the edge. That is going to go to Joey Bosa, who we'll talk here in just a second. Darrynton Evans, rotational running back. Not sure if he's even going to make the 53. Ty Johnson, he's going to be back for the third down kind of situations and being a passing receiver out of the backfield. So I like the Ty Johnson re-signing, very cheap, 2 years, $5 million. Reggie Gilliam back at the fullback spot, leading blocking for Buffalo. Love it. Bring him back. He's been consistent, and I got no gripes there bringing him back for $2 million. Then the splash, Joey Bosa externally, a 1-year, $12.6 million deal. All 12 of that is guaranteed. He has opportunities to get up to, I believe, over $15 million. I believe. Love that addition. It's it's in a sense buy low because you're only on a 1-year deal. If he doesn't work out all the way, you can let go of him next offseason. Larry Ogunjobi, who I didn't get to talk about here on the Bills breakdown, very, very exciting for this deal as well. Great run stopper, and you know what? That's what Buffalo needs at this point. It's been a lack on their defense for close to half a decade now. Go get a big man in the middle. Damar Hamlin back on a 1-year deal as well. Honestly, he played fine in Buffalo, in my opinion, last year. Would like to see maybe some safety addressing in the draft, maybe pair up another guy with Cole Bishop. That would be something I would look to. Would rather have Damar Hamlin as more of a rotational safety at the end of the day, although he has been very solid. Derek Forrest, another safety, will kind of being signed to be it's Hamlin's backup, it seems, and then Laviska Shenault. So there you have it. Brandon Beane has been very, very active all off-season long, and for you guys to be active all off-season long, I need you to subscribe to the channel. YouTube.com/Bills News will be bringing you every single Bills signing or move at all in free agency, whether it's a restructure, whether it's a trade, does not matter. We're bringing you guys nonstop Bills coverage here on YouTube, so lock us in. We'll see you guys in the next one, and as always, go Bills.